Finally some Berserker. What the fuck? Berserker is definitely a film, and it features the sweet, sweet contours of a woman's exposed asshole on its cover, and that is, for me, something I will truly never forget.
What the hell is he smoking?
Yeah, Berserker. This is a weird film. It is a slasher movie. Barely. Barely. Yeah, you get it. All right, so Berserker. Let's, first off, before we even get into anything, obviously this all started, this whole Berserker kerfuffle began because I could not get my hands on a copy. I made the mistake of not buying it during the sale. It sold out, but then, goodness gracious, Grindhouse Video came to my rescue. By came to my rescue, I mean I looked it up and they had some copies of the slipcover edition. And so I bought it, and now I am a proud owner of the Butthole Tent slipcover. It is just as glorious as I thought it would be. It's a little nicked on the bottom, but that's not a big deal. I don't care about that. What I do care about, and I can fix this. This isn't like a huge problem, but you notice anything wrong here? It's a little fucked up, right? So I don't know how. I mean, I know how. I don't know how this got through quality control, because it seems like they have pretty good quality control at Vinegar Syndrome. But of course, the one time I buy from a different company, I get one that's a little gimpy. As you can see right here, the cover where it was printed, when they cut the insert out, they cut it a little askew, and so you have like this little line here of white, and that then fucks up the rest of the artwork. I might have just realized something on camera. Wait a second. Okay. So this is a printing error. It looks like it was cut just fine. I was wrong. Okay, so yeah, now the spine is fine, this part's fine, so I can't use the reverse artwork, basically, which is annoying because I prefer the reverse artwork. It has this sort of Pink Floyd, The Wall vibe, which has been mentioned by 1,000 people. So there's nothing new there, but it's fucking white line, because they printed it kind of weird, I guess. It's just it's a weird thing. That's the only word I have for it, because I've literally never had any problem with a single Vinegar Syndrome release, and I own over 100 now. But here we are with a jacked up insert, god damn it, of some pretty dope art. And that's unfortunate, but you know, I'll live with it. I complain about these things, but the reality is I really don't care. So, Berserker. There it is. Oh, I forgot to show you the inside and all that shit. Yeah, Blu-ray and DVD. Blu-ray, of course, has that sweet, sweet Pink Floyd The Wall artwork on it that I can't showcase. God damn it. God damn it. Movie time.
You've got another member. King H. King H. King H. King H. King H.
I don't think I'm hearing that right. Berserker follows a group of dumb teens who head out to a cabin in the woods looking to have some fun, smoke some pot, splash around in some water, do whatever that is. One night they have a requisite campfire story time, but instead of talking undead mama's boys or dream demons, Jortsman tells the blood-curdling tale of Norse mythology. Huh. Meanwhile, the local sheriff and his Norwegian brother deal with a horrible family secret and a killer on the loose. And the killer is a bear. Maybe. Who knows? So yeah, Berserker, it's such a movie. The problem, I didn't particularly love Berserker. It's a film that is staying with me quite a bit in my memory. Like, I keep thinking about it, even though as I watched it, I just got progressively more depressed by how much it did not live up to its promise. So it's subtitled The Nordic Legend, I think. Basically, the idea is, okay, we're going to do a slasher movie, but what if the killer is a Viking berserker? And a berserker was basically this warrior who would be placed into this unstoppable bloodlust rage and would just go on a mass killing spree. And even the warriors who fought alongside him would stay away because anyone in his path was a potential victim. And that's a great idea. I mean, that's fucking Jason on steroids. And the guy has a weird bear mask thing and claws. Like, it's a fucking great idea. A weird as shit, but nonetheless great costume. And it fucking stars Buck Flower, man. God dang. And somehow, it's still not terribly good. And I don't understand it. I don't know how you have all those things. Plus, Bart the Bear is in this. The world famous Bart the Bear plays the bear. So everything that you could possibly want in a bizarro 80s slasher movie is there. There's even a group of, reasonably likable dumb kids, all played by like late 20s, mid 30s actors, ready to die, having a good time. Everything's there. It just doesn't quite work. And, I guess what it comes down to is execution. There's a lot of talent on display here. Director Jefferson Richard, he is a total, I wouldn't say he's a legend of the industry, but he's a very accomplished man within the filmmaking industry. He wasn't ever a huge director, but he was a big time, basically everything else. He was a first unit director, second unit director, an assistant director, worked behind the scenes in all kinds of jobs, produced a lot of films. I think he produced Get Carter, if I'm not mistaken. Big guy in the industry. This is a film that he had a lot of family members working on. A lot of friends were called in. He had worked with Buck Flower. He knew John Goff. Actually, Buck Flower is some relation to him. I totally forgot what his relation is, but he's related to Buck Flower. So he got these relatively notable genre actors to come in, play some parts, and they're both great. There's a great scene between the two of them where they're just talking over some beers, and it's the best scene in the movie. Actually, it's the second best scene in the movie. But it's legitimately great acting. You have this really, really thick, ridiculous Nordic accent that Buck Flower's putting on. That's the highlight performance of the film. That's good shit. I loved that. Everything with Buck Flower, I was 100% on board.
You want another beer, Bob?
And even the kids are all played reasonably well. I wouldn't say any of them stand out as best of all slasher film performances, but they do their job and they do it well. There's no bad acting in this movie. But once the killing starts, once you actually get into the slasher part of the slasher movie, it just kind of it tanks horribly. There's one big kill to start things off with that's intercut with a pretty hot sex scene. So you have just this really just amazing just bang sesh happening in the woods. And then a few yards away, I'm not sure, you never really get a good idea of where everything is, but there's one of the characters being brutally killed by this weird bear man, berserker guy, and it's pretty fucking great. It is an amazing kill scene, minus the effects. The effects, I think in the commentary, one of them says it looks like someone's just spreading raspberry jam on people, and that's what it looks like. That's what the kills look like. It's basically just this big dumb bear claw just coming in, going burp, and covering someone in raspberry jelly. That's what it looks like. But you can discount that because the editing between these two scenes together makes for a really impressive kill. That never happens again. There's very few murders in this movie. What murders there are very lame. And then the final conclusion to everything is just kind of the movie ending. It's not really a big climactic moment. There's no huge final battle. It's just kind of done. And that's too bad because I really wanted to love this movie. I mean, it's It's the butthole tint, guys. I printed it out for a gag. And, you know, I wanted to love it, but it's just kind of middling in the end. That said, I'm not totally down on this movie. I gave it a 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. To me, a 2.5 is like, it's okay. It's not bad per se, but it's not good. It's fine. And that can even mean that it's worthwhile to watch. And I think that Berserker is rewatchable. I would even go so far as to say it's one of those party movies I always talk about. It's definitely a film that you could enjoy with friends. Everything leading up to the actual murders is pretty enjoyable. There's some really weird pop songs, as we've already seen. A lot of people shit all over the song Cool Dude, which is another one of the songs. It's kind of the montage segment where they're all having fun and riding their three-wheelers and swimming and shit. It's a pretty fun song. Fuck you if you don't like that song. That's quality shit right there. I would buy that on vinyl. I wouldn't actually. I don't buy vinyl, but I would buy that on vinyl. I'll say for this video. Even the cinematography is really pretty top notch. I like the lighting and like copious amounts of fog in the night scenes. It's really like it's a professional production. It's 16 millimeter that was then blown up to 35 millimeter. It definitely looks it. It's very grainy, but it has a quality look to it. There's nothing on paper wrong with this except for the script. It just doesn't. It feels like not enough thought was put into that aspect, or maybe, you know, they were kind of writing for their budget and recognized that they couldn't get like as brutal as they would like. But even then, like, there's some characters you don't get good deaths out of. There's characters that you could have killed off that you don't. I don't think there's anything that should have stopped them, unless there was a time issue, from creating a more interesting like last act of the film. The last 30 minutes really should be stellar, and it's just not. It just kind of putters out, and that makes me sad. But it's just silly enough. It's just 80s enough, and has just enough kind of wonkiness, especially that weird killer, that I think it's worthwhile. It's just not very good. As far as extras go, A Family Affair is a great 25-minute interview with director Jefferson Richard. He basically just talks about his career in film, how he met some of the actors involved, what it was like working with them, his time traveling across the U.S. doing theater, stuff like that. Basically just a whole thing about his career. And that's really interesting. I mean, in 25 minutes you get all the information you need about Jefferson Richard. So that's great. Beware of Bears is a 16-minute interview with actor Joseph Allen Johnson. He talks about his role in getting the film made, anecdotes about his fellow actors, lifting weights on set, stuff like that, and his career following Berserker, which if you go to his IMDb, it doesn't appear to be much, but apparently he did quite a bit afterward. Valley Girl is a 10-minute interview with Shannon Ingeman. She is a very memorable part of the film, and she's actually, I would say, one of the highlights out of all the actors, and really fun to watch. She seems really cool. It's a very peppy interview, lots of energy. Nothing groundbreaking, but gives you a good idea of what her experience was like on the film. So that's also a good interview. We also get an audio interview. You know how much I hate these. I don't hate them, but you know how much I am not fond of this format. Basically, Brad Henderson interviews the Berserker himself, Mike Riley, for a little over 9 minutes, and it gives you a general idea, again, of what his career was like leading up to this, how he got involved with the film, and his experience in production. It's a good interview. It's another one of those audio interviews where it just says audio interview, and I don't know. I really could use a fucking clip show, guys. Or slideshow. A PowerPoint, 1997 PowerPoint slideshow would be perfect. And finally, and there's a stills gallery, but no one gives a shit about stills galleries. Finally, you'll notice on this Blu-ray on the back, it doesn't say anything about any commentary. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's sad. I could have really used a commentary. But wait. There's a secret commentary. Isn't that exciting? I love secrets. Secrets make me go, yay, secrets. This is a commentary by Justin Kurzweil and Joseph Henson, both from the Hysteria Continues podcast. Justin is also the writer of Teenage Wasteland, which is a book on the slasher film and the history therein. And, it's, I haven't read it yet, but it's apparently a really solid piece of work. So I'm going to recommend that blindly, because one day I'll read it and hopefully enjoy it, or else this whole video will age very poorly. Not the whole video, this segment will age very... Moving on. It's a great commentary. Justin especially knows his shit to an incredible degree. He is really good when it comes to slasher movies. He just knows his shit so well. Great commentary, and I am so happy because I didn't think it had one, and I love secret commentaries. They just make my heart swell and explode, and now I'm dead. For double features for this one, I'm gonna say The Burning. I know that it's coming to Shudder. It might be on Shudder by the time this video comes out, I don't know. And maybe you're watching this in the far future and it's gone from Shudder. Either which way, The Burning is a legitimately great 80s slasher. It gets either too much attention or too little attention, so if you're one of those people giving it too little attention, go watch The Burning. It has one of the greatest raft-based kills of all time. Children die in this film, and it has Jason Alexander. What else do you need? Go watch The Burning. It's so great, and would make a fantastic double feature with this production. And you get both coasts. You get New York in The Burning, and you get fucking Utah in Berserker. So that's, get a little bit of the US of A going on in there. Great shit. Regarding Berserker, though, in the end, it is certainly a unique film with some very memorable moments, but sadly it just falls way too short of its potential. But hey. We'll always have butthole tent. Go watch a movie.